What is poppin', YouTube? It is IttyBittyBlackAlien here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. I keep forgetting to call y'all Islanders, okay? Y'all supposed to be my little Islanders. If y'all like that name, let me know. If y'all think it's trash, let me know. I'm open, okay? I know I'm a little sensitive sometimes, but I can handle it if you don't like it, okay? Damn, that bird is loud. It's like a freaking police siren. Tweedle, 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 tweedle. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Lilith in Cancer, okay? This is going to be a very long, in-depth video. I'm just going to let y'all know right now. Why? Because this is my placement, and there's a lot of triggers here for me since this is my placement. Since Lilith in Cancer is all about family trauma. Amazing. So before I get into it, I would like to let you all know that I do birth chart reading. So come on now, Sydney. So email me at s.island55@yahoo.com, and also follow me on my social medias. And also, let's go over this community tab poll that I put out. I go over my polls now in my astrology videos. And in this one, I asked, out of the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, which do you think is the best at making money? And y'all voted for Capricorn the most with 68%. And then Taurus was second, Virgo was last. Sorry, Virgo. Let me express my opinion on this poll real quick. Being a Taurus, let me not start off like that, because then y'all gonna think I'm being biased. Maybe I'm being biased, but I feel like Taurus should have won, okay? There, I said it. Because Tauruses, we are hustlers. Don't get me wrong, Capricorns are mad hustlers too, but I don't know, I just feel like Tauruses, like, we really, like, know how to attract money. Like, we are money magnets. I've never met a Taurus who doesn't have some type of secret side hustle, money-making routine type situation. Like, I've never met a Taurus who didn't have some type of genius money-making something on the side, okay? But that's what I'm going to say about that. All right, now, get your wine, get your popcorn, get your blunts, whatever you do while you're watching these videos, because this one is going to be a long one. Lilith in Cancer, baby. Lilith in Cancer. For those of you who have a Lilith in Cancer, including myself, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm not the type of astrologer. There's a beauty in every placement, and I'm always going to give you something that can help you with this placement. I'm not going to, spew out a bunch of negative shit and then be like, okay, go be on your own now. Deal with the trauma of Lilith in Cancer. No, I'm going to give you advice on how to deal with it. Okay, so Lilith in Cancer. So let's talk about what Lilith means in astrology. And also, in one of these corners in the eye, there's going to be a bar where it says Lilith in Astrology Explained. I did a video, an in-depth explanation of Lilith. So click that video so you can, learn about Lilith on a deeper level. Okay, so Lilith is the perversion or the corruption of each zodiac sign. Lilith represents the darkness of your personality. Lilith represents your sexuality, the dark side of your sexuality. Your kinks and your fetishes, those dark sexual fantasies that you have and things like that. That's Lilith. Okay, and it also corrupts the house, right? So Lilith in Cancer, or Lilith in the 4th house, because Cancer rules the 4th house. This is going to create a certain bit of darkness when it comes to your home life, especially in your childhood, and especially with the relationship with your mother. Trigger alert. I'm triggered already. Okay, I love my mom, but I'm gonna spew it all in this video for the sake of educating y'all. Okay, so I just want to start out by saying I don't feel like the relationship with my mother is the best. I don't. And I've been trying to get this out to her. Like, I'm not trying to act like that she's a bad person, because she's not. She's provided for me ever since my childhood. She's taken care of me and my sisters. She's a good mother. But I just feel like I can't talk to her about a lot of things. And having a Lilith in Cancer, a lot of people feel as though that they have a very depressing relationship with their mother. Okay? Maybe their mother was depressed. Maybe their mother discourages them a lot. Or maybe their mother was the perfect mother, but then you just feel like there's something missing. Maybe you just feel you can't relate to your mother. Okay? Or maybe you have a very, very intense fear of being a mother. Maybe you really want to be a mother, but you're afraid to be a mother. Okay? And for me, I have to say I have just a smidget of this. I want to be a mother very much, and I feel as though I'm going to be one day. Damn, people making noises like... This is the thing about the world. Just being in the world, okay? You do shit and you hear noises. Or when you become a mother, you may be extremely smothering to a point where your kid may feel suffocated and they may feel like they can't really like be themselves, or you shelter them, you know, or your mother could have sheltered you. And this was the case for me. I feel like I was just a very, very, very sheltered kid. And then I feel like it caused me to be very socially awkward and very anxious in social situations as an adult. So Lilith in Cancer, you feel like the black sheep. More often than not, you feel like the black sheep, and this is definitely the case for me. Before I turned on the camera, I was just ranting to myself about how much I don't feel like I fit in with my family. And I feel like there's just this secret, certain part of me in my life that they will never see or they will never know about. Like, they have this perception of me where they think they know me. They think they know where my heart is, or they're just completely confused about where my heart is. They don't know me. They can't grasp me. They're always trying to figure it out. So then they put these negative labels on me and say, this is you. This is who you are. Always trying to define me. And I feel like I've never had an opportunity to define myself. That's a Lilith in Cancer right there, okay? This placement for me is very deep, and it is very emotional, okay? Because Cancer is a very emotional sign. So those who have a Lilith in Cancer oftentimes have very volatile emotions. And I just screamed like crazy before I filmed this video. Honestly, like, yeah. Emotional outbursts is going to be huge with Lilith in Cancer. Someone who cries a lot. I'm very emotional. I say this a lot in my videos. I just cried before I turned on the camera. Lilith in Cancer, very emotional. You may find it difficult to control your emotions. I feel like it gets easier for me as I get older, but when I was younger, my Lilith in Cancer was out of control. Okay, I was very emotional, and I had like a lot of angry outbursts, a lot of emotional outbursts. I oftentimes felt that I was treated unfairly. A lot of Lilith in Cancer people, they have issues trying to communicate how they feel, so then it just comes out as crazy emotions. So your tie to family can be a very difficult one. And a lot of times you feel burdened by family. Like, you love your family. There's like this, it's a very conflicting energy when it comes to family here. There's like this energy of you wanting to be so close to your family because Cancer is so tied to their family. Cancers love family and they love their mothers, right? So you want to be very close to your mother. You want to be very close to your siblings. But then there's another part of you that's almost repulsed by them, whether you want to admit it or not. There's a part of you that you see your family and you love them so much, but it's almost like a get away from me. I don't want to live anywhere near you. And it's kind of like that for me. I still live with my family and I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I'm glad that I can be near them so that I can make sure that they're okay. But there's a huge part of me that's just like, I just want to move away. I just want to move so far away from these people. Like, I love you, but I just don't want to see you. I just really feel like I could be so much happier if I wasn't living near you. That's how people with a Lilith in Cancer feel. They may feel just very discontent being around their family. They love their family and they want this closeness. They want a close relationship with their family, but at the same time, they want a giant bridge from their family. It's very conflicting and confusing having a Lilith in Cancer. The relationship with your family can affect your self-esteem. And this is the case for me. You feel as though you could have soared, but the relationship with your family was so heavy for you that you still feel as though you're trapped and you're still that same person that you were when you were younger, when you experienced things with your family. I told you this video is going to be long and in-depth. All right, get your tissue because you might cry, okay? Lilith in Cancer. We're going to talk about the sex stuff too. Lilith in Cancer, let's talk about those fetishes. Let's talk about those nasty fetishes, okay? Those sexual fantasies that you would never tell anyone about. Let's talk about it, baby. Typically, Lilith in Cancer women have a dominate me fetish. Really liking to be completely dominated by their man or woman. Doesn't matter what your sexuality is. You really like to be dominated. You could be a man who really likes to be dominated. Usually for Lilith in Cancer men, this could mean that you really like to dominate your woman. Like, completely dominate her and have her completely submit to you. And she could be the type that really likes to completely submit to her man. I'm not gonna lie. In the bedroom, I love when a man can completely dominate me and I can just be completely submissive and just completely submit to him. This is the type of person who may write like dark, erotic stories about being completely overpowered by a man. Someone who writes fan fiction and erotica about complete domination. Dominatrix. Is that what you call it? Dominatrix, BDSM, that kind of thing. Whips and chains and just being completely just, that humiliation thing. Is that what they call it? It's like, is BDSM what they call the humiliation thing, where people like sexually aroused by humiliation? Lilith and Cancer, huge with that. Lilith and Cancer people will be really into like someone like cussing at them during sex and stuff like that. I might get demonetized. Being choked, slapped, spanked, completely dominated, that kind of thing. I'm not gonna give you all the tea about everything I like in the bedroom, but I like that kind of stuff. Okay, let me not say that. So Lilith and Cancer people, you're highly intuitive, right? You have a very, very high intuition, almost to a point of being psychic. This could translate into the bedroom as well. Someone who has a sixth sense of what their partner is turned on by. Just by a few moments with them in the bedroom, they're like, yeah, I know what he likes. I know what she likes. Someone who can just feel it, Someone who, when they have sex with their souls. They have sex from the very core of their heart, all right? Sex is very deep with these people. And it could just be a hookup, but the way that they have sex with you, it makes you feel that they're in love with you. Lilith and Cancer people are very intense in the bedroom. Very intense because it has a lot to do with their emotions. These people are emotional when it comes to sex. Like, sex has a connection to their emotions. It's crazy. I wrote a song called Sex is Emotional, and I posted it on this channel, and I have a Lilith and Cancer. Oh my God. So on the dark side, Lilith and Cancer people can be very emotionally manipulative. Because they understand emotion a lot more than any other Lilith placement. Just go by. This is one thing I hate about Feminine Side. Every single noise under the sun wants to freaking interrupt me. Lilith and Cancer people can be very emotionally manipulative. Like I said, they understand emotion. They can see and sense where the emotion is and how to use it to their advantage. So these can be some sneaky kind of people at times. Very sneaky. Typically when they're younger. For me, I would say that I'm a matured Lilith and Cancer. I've definitely learned from my mistakes in the past, and I'm a very spiritual person at that, and I understand the concept of karma. So I'm not gonna manipulate you emotionally, because I don't want anyone to do that to me. Have I had times where I've been a little manipulative? Absolutely. When I was younger, yeah. And I learned pretty quickly that that's not the way to get what you want. It's very dangerous. Because these people can be very charming also, and very seductive, and they use that to their advantage, and you need to be careful with that. Make sure that you evolve spiritually so that you don't hurt people with that, because these people can also be emotionally burdensome to people at times. I used to have a lot of emotions that I would just put out there on people, and looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, that must have been a lot to handle for the other person. And I'm proud of myself. Like, I need to give myself a round of freaking applause, because I was crazy back in the day, y'all. It's not good to be like that. Like, Lilith and Cancer, you need to learn how to control your feelings and emotions, because if you don't, they can just get crazier and crazier and crazier. And this is someone who could literally just lose their mind, just an emotional wreck of a person, if you don't learn how to control this. So it is a part of your karmic duty to find some sort of independence, and to find some sort of love for yourself. Because I'm gonna let y'all know right now, having a Lilith and Cancer, I'm 25 years old and I still live with my family because I wasn't as adamant about finding my independence. And so now I'm in this situation where I feel stuck. I feel like there's a lot that I have to do to get out of this situation. And I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. I'm the type of person where I have a lot of energy, like a lot of high energy, so I can find the joy and pleasure in anything, just about anything. Like, I have a Jupiter in my 5th house, so I'm very happy a lot of the times. But I'm still very dissatisfied with my living situation because I didn't try harder to find my own independence and to establish my own identity. And that's the issue with the Lilith and Cancer. You're so attached to your family that you end up stuck with them for longer than you want because you're so dependent on them. So you may have a very strained relationship with your family where you're like, I don't like y'all get on my nerves, but then there's a energy of dependence towards them. Like, maybe they're helping you out financially because you don't have the money, and you don't like that because you don't want to be around them to begin with, but then they're helping you out financially. It's like that, and it's very tough. It's a very tough placement to have. Lilith in Cancer is not easy to have. So pat yourself on the back when you learn a lesson through this placement, okay? Because none of these placements are easy, especially the water placements in Lilith. Water being Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. When you're at your best, having a Lilith in Cancer, you can be a great protector of those that you love. You know, someone who can be very trustworthy and very dependable, because you're so fiercely loyal when it comes to your family. Okay, someone who's very protective of their mother. Someone who will beat somebody's bootay for their mama. What you say about my mama? What you say about my mama? Bow, bow, bow. Like somebody who will fight for their mother. Someone who will literally not tolerate 1 second of somebody talking crap about their mother. Very, very protective, and also extremely protective of their children. So this makes for someone who over time can become very emotionally strong. Typically you start off with Lilith in Cancer is emotionally weak, like a crybaby. Okay, this was me when I was a kid. Every time me and my sisters would get into an argument, I'd be the first to cry. I was a crybaby. But as I get older, I'm like, we gotta stop that, and I'm becoming more stronger. So you could go from being the emotionally weakest in your family to being the emotionally strongest in your family. So there's always hope. There's always hope, baby. Don't worry. In your childhood, there is a bit of trauma, more often than not, having a Lilith in Cancer. This, I hate to say it, but you could have experienced abuse of the sexual kind, or you could have just straight up just experienced emotional abuse, verbal abuse in your childhood with this placement, and it may have really affected you all the way up into your adulthood, and you may need therapy having this placement. I recommend that. I've been to therapy a couple of times, and my last therapist was amazing. Okay, I made a video about that. I might put that in the corner in the eye somewhere, and I want y'all to watch that about my best and worst experiences in therapy. In your childhood, you may have felt neglected. You may have felt very vulnerable, and like no matter where you were as a child, you just always felt unsafe. And like that you were just left out into the cold. And I definitely, being the middle child, like we all know there's a such thing as middle child goddamn syndrome. And there's times when I just felt like that me and my big sister would literally do the same thing, and my punishment was always different than hers and more harsh. Like I would get harsher judgment for doing the same exact thing that she did. And I would try to tell my mom, and she's like, here you go again. You always acting like somebody trying to target you, blah, 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 blah. And just pretty much telling me that it's all in my head and I'm just delusional. You like, yeah, all these memories in my mind. I'm just schizophrenic. I'm just hallucinating all this, right? That's Lilith in Cancer. You feel unheard. You feel that there's a certain level of mistreatment. With this placement, it's very hard to ask for help. I don't like feeling like a burden on people. I hate it. So yeah, I just looked at my notes. It says fear of being a burden. Fear. Yeah, you have a fear of being a burden, Lilith in Cancer. Also, another issue with Lilith in Cancer is that you can feel very stuck in your shell. Someone who's extremely shy and a little insecure, and it may take you a little bit longer than the average person to be assertive out in the world and to get over your social anxiety. And that's definitely the case for me. Like everything I'm saying in this dang video is so triggering and so true for me. Like I'm 25 and I feel like I'm finally coming out of my shell. Now let's bounce back to the topic of emotions with Lilith in Cancer. Sometimes on the other end of being super emotional, you can be extremely closed off from your emotions. And recently, I've experienced a lot of stuff with family, having this Lilith in Cancer, of feeling like the black sheep, feeling like I'm unheard, and it caused me to shut down completely. And now I feel like I really can't talk to my family. Like I don't talk to them. I live with them, but I don't really communicate with them. And I just feel like I can't. It's like I feel like there's a thick wall between us, a thick invisible wall where I just, every time I want to say something or push, I just feel like there's a wall between us, and the communication, I just feel like it's not the same, and I don't know if it ever will be the same. And it's sad because I used to be very close with my family, but I just feel like it's just too much. I'll make a whole video ranting about how depressed I feel about family. So I have closed myself off emotionally from my family, and I know that that may not be a good thing, but I just have done it because I have a lot of fear. And I think that the root of that fear is fear of rejection. Fear of just not being accepted. Fear of being thrown back into the pit of black sheepery. Just being pushed to the side and treated like I'm just different. And then nothing I say and do is good enough. Watch my video that I just posted about the walls. I said, let down them walls, sis. Watch that video. I talk about some things in that one related to, me being so guarded when it comes to family. I looked down at my notes and it said, often lacked a healthy mother figure. Like I said before, my mom, she took care of us, but there was a lot of emotional turbulence on her end. Me not having a father in the picture, I just felt like there was something missing. And when you have only one parent, and that one parent is like extremely anxious and emotional all the time, it just creates this energy of chaos in the living environment. And you feel like there's a lack of security. And I feel like me and my sisters have all felt that. And I know she isn't comfortable with me talking about a lot of stuff on my channel, but at the same time, this is not her channel. This is my channel. That's another thing. Lilith and Cancer's mothers can be very smothering and controlling, and sometimes they can try to like guilt you and make you feel guilty for doing things that they don't like. I like talking about my life because I don't feel like I have anybody to talk to. And I talk about this because I want people who are in a similar position to me to feel that they have somebody to relate to. Because so many times I felt left out in the cold, like I had no one to freaking talk to. Like I had no one to relate to. And when I would say I'm the black sheep, y'all looking at me funny like I'm just being dramatic. But the root of this placement, when it comes to all the family turbulence and the mother issues, what you need to do is go love yourself. Figure out how to be independent. Make your own money. Be creative. Do your own thing that doesn't include your family. Create an identity that is so strong that is just you, that doesn't have anything to do with family. And if it does, allow the things that you've been through with family to make you stronger. Okay, this is not an easy placement to have. Okay, I've been through a lot recently because of this placement, and I'm ready to just move on and be better, honey, because I'm tired. Okay, I'm freaking tired. Okay, so learn to love yourself, because self-esteem may be a very huge issue with this placement. All right. And in the bedroom, like I said, you nasty, because everybody with Lilith and something is nasty, okay? So, that's all I have for you all today. Give this video a thumbs up, and also check out my other channel called IttyBittyBlackAlien. The link for that channel will be in the description box below. I do fashion and beauty stuff, and also like funny story times and things like that on that channel. And also subscribe to both channels. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Next, I will be coming out with Lilith and Leo. So stay tuned for that. Hit that notification bell. I love you all. Bye-bye, baby.